Generic greetings and welcome to Preview plus Armello. This is a digital board game, and that sounds really weird for me to say that, and it might be a bit confusing, but what I mean is that it's a board game all but in physicality. It's solely a digital product, right? But it's been designed along fairly standard and robust board game principles, and it even feels and runs like a tabletop game. That's the whole point in it. So it intrigued me quite a bit because I play a lot of board games myself, and I even feature on this channel several what I would refer to as board game ports, games that have traditionally been solely in the realm of the living and the physical, and then being transferred over to PC or Android or whatever into a digital product. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Games that I'm talking about are things like Talisman, Ket 2.0, Blood Bowl, Space Hulk, those sort of games. And like I said, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. There's many reasons for it. Sometimes they're just a bad port or the lo-fi, and sometimes it's, well, it's not as easy as you might think, transferring out of that sort of more communal setting over to, well, what is generally a single-player experience. But we'll get on to that later on during the video. So I'm just going to show you a bit of the single-player game. There is a multiplayer mode, and I have tried that. So yeah, but I won't be showing you any of that at the moment. It is in early access, by the way, as you can see there, Armello early access. So the typical disclaimers apply. Nothing you see is final. Everything is subject to change. Any bugs or lack of polish in places, etc., etc., please attribute it to its end of status. So we're going to go single player. I'm going to select one of the currently available 4 characters. There's going to be more characters available. Did I hear over 20? Something like that? Anyway, there's going to be more characters available. So there's Sana, who's a bear thing. We've got Amber, a rabbit, or a hare, or whatever. We've got Mercurio, a dirty, devious rat. And Thane, which is a big wolf. And I'm going to pick Thane because he's the most combat-orientated, I think. Yeah, most combat oriented. So we've got many statistics here. I won't bore you with them at the moment. I'm just going to jump in. Every character has a set of statistics and an ability. I need to select my ring and amulet, so I can only select one ring. To unlock the others, I have to complete a game with what's called a Wolf Clan hero, which is Thane. He's part of the Wolf Clan. They're all in their own little clans, so obviously when they bring out more heroes for different clans, you'll be able to, say, play a character from Wolf Clan and get these unlocked. You understand, don't you? So we're going to pick that one there. And then we have to pick a ring or an amulet. So what shall I do? What shall I do? Which one? That one gives me wits. That one gives me body. That one gives me fight. I think we'll take the soak one, which gives me an extra body, and then we'll click play again to unlock ones. Unlock these ones. You need to complete one of the 4 different victory conditions. I've played the game for about 5 hours now, I think. Not 4.5 maybe. 5 hours might be a bit too long. Anyway, from the rat to the bear, the clans declare, for the time has come to take the throne. For what's creeping, it twists our king and threatens the land of Armello. Okay. So, it's going to do its little automated go-through thingy-madoodah, and I'm just going to ignore it completely because I can't explain what's going on while it's doing it. So this is obviously single-player game, or single-player mode at the moment. Right, we've got a little pop-up here, the forest deep. Your journey has barely begun, but someone knows, someone or something has been following you. Lose them in the Ashgrave Forest. There we go. So that is part of like a quest line sort of thing, and that's one of the parts of the game that, as far as I'm aware, is probably the least featured out of everything you're going to see. So it is the one that is currently they're trying to really develop it, and I'll explain a little more as we get on. But basically, I think the whole idea is that you go through like this whole quest line, and you get different things. You'll get rewards and bonuses, but your choice you'll make will affect how you progress on and such. But anyway. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's nowhere near finished. But we'll have a quick look around, a quick run down the UI and such. Obviously, in the centre is our main tiled map. On the left-hand side, we've got our character and how many action points I have. Currently 3. Shows you my health as well. On the left, we have the cards that I have, and as you can see, they actually are like a card you would get in a board game, but obviously they've got like a little animation on them. That looks really good. That's lightning strike. There's different symbols on them. I'll go through them later, but I really do like the look of that. See, that's what board games are going to look like in, say, 30 years, I would hope, where we're actually going to get pieces of card that do look like that. That would be fantastic. Or maybe we'll be living in the Matrix. Who knows? There's other cards as well, but we'll get on them. On the bottom left, we have my statistics. So we've got some fight, which is how many dice I'll roll when I'm sort of fighting against someone else. My body, and it's 5 out of 5, so I've got 5 health, and my maximum is 5. My wits, which is to do with cunning and stuff like that. Again, it's when I'm doing certain tests. I will test on wits, or spirit is used for magic, and again, testing on spirit things. On the bottom, we have like an overview of what's happening. We've got like a little, you can taunt and chat. So I can say to Mercurio, diplomacy, stay away, like that. So I've said that to him. That's actually, as far as I'm aware, the only way you communicate in multiplayer as well, which is, I don't know, maybe a chat menu would be a bit better. We've got little icons here to tell us where we are, what effects we're under. Again, this is like a overall list, like a readout of what exactly happening. So if you're not too sure what card someone's played or what turn it is, it'll pop up and you can click on that. On the right, we have our gold, which we use to buy things. So for example, there is a potion there. It gives us 2 health, range 1, play to hero. Most of the cards are self-explanatory, you know by just reading that what you need to do. And it costs 1 gold, okay? Very easy to understand. So I would, use that gold to do that, or buy weapons, whatever. Magic. Very similar. We use it to cast spells. That casts 5 magic. Guess what? I've only got 3. Next one is prestige. Now, prestige is very important because the higher the prestige generally... Well, yeah, the higher the prestige, the better. Because if you have the highest prestige at the end and the king dies... There's the king in the center there. I'll get to victory conditions in a moment. It means that you become the king. So, congrats. Also, when the king makes a decree or declares that something is going to happen, you get to choose one of 2 options. So, you always want higher prestige, generally. Depends on what character you're running for. And then there's rot. Rot is a big part of the game where it's corrupting things, and the higher rot, the more you are going to suffer for different things, and eventually you will be corrupted and along the dark path and blah blah blah. That's what's happened to the king. The king's there. He's got rot. You can see it on the right hand side. It says king with his health, 8 fight and 1 rot, and eventually his rot will go up, his health will go down, and then he will die, or people could kill him. The victory conditions, there's 4 of them in as far as I'm aware. The first one is to turn up, kill the king, and survive. There you've got a king slayer victory. The other one is to turn up and cleanse the king. You can cleanse the rot off the king with some weird magical crystals, which I have got none of. You need at least 4, and then you cleanse him, and then, you become... You're the winner. I guess you don't become the king, but you just become, the cleansing the king win. Then the other one is the prestige win, which basically you do nothing other than collect prestige, and then it's sort of the default win, I guess. The person with the highest prestige, if no other victory conditions are met, becomes the winner, becomes the king. And then the other one is a rot. It's like a rot victory where you turn up and kill the king and have more rot than the king or other players. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. We can actually check. We can go to our game guide here, which is quite fleshed out. It does explain the game quite well. And we got to winning the game. Rot victory. Enter the palace. Face the king in battle. With rot higher than his own. Kill him in battle. You must survive the encounter. That is pretty much identical to the Kingslayer victory. So I don't understand why there's a difference in it. Like, why... I don't understand why. One of them's just Kingslayer victory, you kill the king. Another one is have more rot than the king. I mean, I guess it's just a bragging point. I had more rot than the king, but I don't know. Maybe a rework of that. Maybe a bit more interesting. But anyway... we've also got end turn button, obviously, because you need to end your turn if you have our action points and such. We've got our character shelf, and we can look at all of these statistics in one big lump. It also shows you my ability, which is Sword Master. Sword cards burnt in battle cannot be blocked by opponents. You won't understand that, but we'll get to that. Also shows you how much gold I'm going to get and when my magic is replenished. It also shows what affinity my clan is, so it's night. So I get a bonus dice for actions done in at night time, because I like the night time. We've also got our inventory shelf, so we've got 3 slots for weapons and armor and equipment, and 3 for party. Now, party cards, as far as I'm aware, I've only really drawn them from exploring these ruins, but I don't know if you can get them from anywhere else, but I don't see many of them. We can also click on the other characters as well and go through each one of them. The only thing you can't see is what is in their hand, so they're supposed to be in my hand. Obviously, we can't see them. Right, I think that's enough explanation. This is the main map, and it is randomly generated. In the center will always be the king and his castle, and then around we have the world. So different tiles. These are just simple plains where you walk through, no effect, no problem. These are forests. When you go in, you get like a little stealth. You are hidden so you can't get targeted. These are little druidic ruins, and you can go in them and get a bit of health. There's a swamp there. And that swamp is bad. If you go through it, you will take a point of damage from slogging through the swamp on the way to Mordor or whatever. That is a nice big mountain, and going to the top of that, you'll get a bonus to defense when you're getting attacked on it, but it does cost you an extra AP to move up it, because obviously it's a very big high mountain. These are like little ruins, and you go in and then you get a random search, and you can find gold and treasure and banes, which are bad things. That thing there, that flag, is a peril. Now, perils are played... you can say, have I got a peril? Yes. No, I don't. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I'm going to click on that one. There you go. That says Spirit Range 3, Peril 3, right? Generally, the range of your, the range and peril number is based on your magic there. Sorry, or on your spirit. So, a range of 3. Peril 3. What it means is that I can place it on whomever. So it says plate a hero, but sometimes they say plate a hero tile. So some of them might say plate a forest tile, so I could play it. Ooh, God, I was trying to place it. I'm trying to place it there. I could place it there, for example, and then it would put one of them flags there, which would denote a peril. And when you go in, you have to do a peril test, which could be however many dice. So in this case, it's peril 3, and it could be something like peril against their spirit. So they would have to go. Test by rolling 3 dice, seeing what the dice, and then they might pass the peril. If they fail, if they pass, then everything's good. If they fail, then they suffer that effect there. So I don't know what that peril is. Basically, I don't want to walk in there. It's a bad plan. Right, so we need to move around. So I need to get to that forest there, and I have 3 action points, so I could just move there. There's 1. And then I could move there if I want to, and then straight in. That's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to run straight in, and then we will encounter that. So the forest deep. The forest, tall and dark, envelops you. Your senses alert. The intermittent scuttering behind you does not go unnoticed. You wait for just the right moment, and choose an action. So you can make a run for it and peg it down the road, or you can spin around, weapon at the ready, and you will test your fight skill. Obviously, that's 5 on mine, quite good. Or leap for a nearby branch and test your wit. So depending on what character you have, obviously there'll be different options which are, you know, more favourable. So I'm going to test fight, for example. But the thing is, I don't know if the outcome of this, so if I test fight, for example, I don't know if that's going to affect me in the long run because I'm being more aggressive, or whether I run for it. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if it's going to be changed, so later on, say if you keep fighting, you'll be known as more aggressive and your quest line will change. I don't know. I must confess, I have no idea. But anyway, in this instance, I'm going to test fight. So, test fight! Haha! And then the cards burn down. You spin. You spin strike an incoming projectile. An axe thrown from afar thunks harmlessly into a nearby tree. Its owner, a fox black as obsidian, is quick to flee, but not before accidentally dropping her gold pouch. Lovely. So we've got 3 gold and 1 prestige. Excellent. That's good. So I've now got 6 gold, 8 gold, and 1 prestige. So, as you can see, my questline moves on. Pretender to the throne. Another member of the Wolf Clan is called. You are Pretender to the throne, unfit to ruin Armello. He lives within the bogs of the Greyland. Find him and quell his descent. Okay, right, yeah, he's basically talking a lot of garbage about me, so I'm going to go and beat him up, I think. Right, so I'm out of action points, nothing else to do. I think we'll end the turn. And now the computer's going to go along. You can see the lighting's changed as well because of the... well, because it goes from day to night, so it's going through daytime. Everybody gets a day turn, then everyone gets a night turn. Night is generally bad because things spawn. So you can see it's popping up over the character's head what they're actually doing. We can actually still move around like this, and we can press F, and then that'll focus on the character. One thing I do not like is that you go, oh, look at that, but then you think, oh, well, I'm going to take a bigger look out at what's around here. So you scroll out, and that's as far as you can go, and it goes all blurry. The whole reason, in my opinion, right, to want to scroll out is to see the whole board in its entirety. I don't understand why you can only scroll out a little bit and it goes all blurry anyway. So it makes the whole feature redundant. Either just keep the view there, or allow you to scroll right out so you can see the board very, very quickly and see where characters are, instead of having to go, well, where are the other characters? Scroll around, scroll around, scroll. I mean, you can obviously click on the buttons here and move around, but it's, you know, you don't want to be... I would prefer it just to, like just go scroll and you zoom right out and you can see the entire board and you just get symbols where people are. Surely that would be better than just making it go blurry, or even just remove the blur. That would be better. Anyway, it's like I've got very my vision is not very good. I know, you know, I'm a board game player and stuff, but yeah, I'm not that short-sighted. I can see more than that. Anyway, it's nighttime. 1 second. Today's beverage is Earl Grey. Right, okay, so it's my turn. It's now gone to nighttime, so I get a bonus. You can see on the bottom there, Clan Affinity Night. That's affecting me there. I'm also stealth, currently invisible to other characters and attackers while ambushed. There's a couple of other abilities. I'm not entirely sure what all of them do. So there's an evade one, obviously I'm stealth and such. But yeah, I'm hidden here. So here's a problem. That there is a peril. Not good. But what I'm aware of is that I've got no income, I don't think. Hang on, let's have a quick look. Oh, +1 gold. You always get, I believe you always get +1. But the more towns you control, the better. So I'm going to move into this town. There we go. And I'm going to capture that town. Excellent. By the way, that person there, that's the King's Guard. They will happily kick your teeth in if you go and try and sort of push them over. So don't do that and they will become... You see it says neutral on the right, but they will become hostile if you attack them. Also, if you try and enter this thing here, not only will you have to do a test, you will, if you pass that test, end up facing the King's Guard and stuff anyway. So it's not a good idea. Right. So I need to go... there, and to get there I can't really go through that tile because if you go into a tile with an opponent, you can see the symbol changes to like a little dagger. I think I'll move to there, and then I'm going to go around. Now if I go there, I won't be able to get to their next turn because I'll be going 1, 2, 3. So if I'm going to have to go into the swamp, which is going to give me a point of damage. So I'll take a point of damage to lose 1 body. However, I'll also do this peril, but that'll show you exactly how perils work. So we'll quickly go in. So we'll take -1 health from going in there, and then we'll encounter the peril. Okay, so it is a Tangle Vine. Now, this is the burn down counter. I despise the burn down counter. I'll explain why. You have a choice of burning these cards on the left, and you can see they have different symbols. And when I play, if I burnt them down, I would automatically get whatever them symbols are on one of these dice. So it would take that one of them dice off. You can see I've got 4 dice because I'm testing against Spirit. Yeah, I'm testing against Spirit. I get +1 die because I am Clan Affinity Knight. But basically, I'd be able to burn these symbols down. So I'd be able to burn a card, and then I would get... Well, then one of them dice would be taken. Say, for example, I burnt a shield card or a card with a shield on it. I would get a shield on this dice and it would be placed there, and then I would automatically get that. It doesn't give you one for free. It does use one of the dice, but it means that you can, if you want to, always get a couple of ones. I do not understand at all why the burn down timer exists. I don't see any point in it whatsoever. It just puts in a arbitrary time limit for something that is completely pointless. I don't understand why there's a time limit. There's no time limit for anything else in the game. It's only the burn down timer. In multiplayer, you do have turn times. I understand that because obviously you don't want people dawdling and things like that. I understand there's a reason to have timers in multiplayer, but I don't understand why it's not just like a clock scenario in multiplayer, as in you get 3 minutes for your turn. I understand that, but I don't understand why in a single player setting I have to quickly burn cards. I think of all the things that annoy me in this game, I think there's only 2 or 3 things that annoy me. That is the most, and I just do not understand at all why the burn down timer exists when nothing else has a timer, as far as I can tell, apart from multiplayer, obviously. But in a single player setting, it seems pointless. Anyway, let's roll the dice. But yeah, that's my biggest gripe with the game, the burn down timer. I don't understand why it even exists. So I'm rolling dice, and I'm getting different symbols. The dice are obviously 6-sided dice. Just off memory, there is a sun, a moon. I'll go to that first. We've actually got -1 action points and -1 health. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that's because I failed that quest. So there we go. I failed. Oh, sorry, I failed that peril. So I'll just end the turn. Yeah, the dice, as far as I can remember, have a worm on it, which basically means botch. Nothing happens. They've got a sun on it and a moon on it. Now, if it's in the daytime, the sun will give you a positive result. If you roll a moon in the daytime, nothing happens. Same for at night. If you roll a moon, then that's good. If you roll a sun, then nothing happens. So yeah, it depends on what time of day it is. Or time of day? No, time of day, time of night. It depends on whether it's day or night. You've also got a sort of cross. You've got a sword symbol, which is like attack. You've also got a shield symbol, and you've got like a magic tree, which basically means it explodes, which you can roll again. Now, what's happening is banes are spawning there. There's a bane. Now, that's like a horrible bad crow thing, and that will constantly run around and kick the crap out of things. We see Mercurio is attacking and actually taking it on. Good thing about them is if you destroy them, you get a prestige, which is always good. Oh yeah, don't know if I'll point this out. All of the characters are of the animal kingdom, I guess you could call it, because they're like bears and hares and bears, rats, hares, wolves, lions, tigers, that sort of thing. Anyway, we've got dawn of the second day, so there's now a... the king's got a declaration, and tax time. Taxes are due from everybody. Pay 2 gold if you can't. Lose a prestige. I've got 10 gold. I'm rolling in the cash. So that's all good. So I've lost 2 gold. There we go. That's for everybody. So obviously, if you were the prestige leader, then that's quite good. What's happening now is the king's guard is running around. There we go. Sorted. Right, okay, my turn. So I want to get over to there, so it's a simple matter of going around. I could go through that. It'll cost me 2 to go there. So 2, 3, that's alright. I'll just go up the mountain then. So it costs 2 AP to go there, but obviously I can go straight down now. I do have 3 of 5 health, so I think I will actually play to hero my wild... Is it wild weed? Wild weed, yes. So we're just going to get a bit of a potion, play it on myself, and there we go. Lose a magic piece, but I do gain 2 health back up to 5. And we'll go into my quest, and then lose a health from going into the swamp. So, pretended to the throne, you stumble aimlessly through the damn bog. The dank bog, what a horrible thing. That's twice I've been in these things. The thick muck impeding your efforts. Then, in the distance, what? The charling call of this descending hound draws your gaze. He has a bow aimed at you from afar. So, call on the hound to listen to reason, convince him of his folly. Call upon the wild. Let the bog deal with this guy, the usurper. He's not called usurper, that's just a word. Deal with the usurper and draw my blade and deflect the arrow. Test fight. I'd like to test spirit to let the wild deal with it. But it's a spirit test, and I'm not very good at that. See, I don't know. I couldn't call on him to listen to reason, or I could just draw my blade. Again, I don't know what the effect this will have. I'm just going to fight him because I've got more health. So, with a deft twist of your arm, you deflect the arrow to a nearby tree. So, I'm just getting arrows and axes thrown at me this game. It's shocking. The hound tries to fire once again, but your blade quickly ends his life. You claim his gear and gold as reward. Plus 2 gold, 1 prestige, and I've got a card as well. So, the card is... I don't know. There's the quest going over there. I'm just going to click... From now on, I'm not going to really read these ones because it's, yeah, it's just giving us different quests. So, we have actually got... We should have got another card there. That said I gain an additional card, but I haven't actually got the card. Oh, no, wait. It's probably played to my inventory. No, it has not. So I don't know about that one. It did say extra card there, but I haven't got an extra card. Ah, whatever. Right. And there's 3 types of cards you can draw as spell, trickery, and item. So they're moving along here. You can see she's roaming along. I say she. I don't know if Sanna's a male or female, but I have no idea. So, not that it matters. Anyway, what's happening here? Ooh, the hare is attacking the Bane and taking them out quite successfully. Nice. Well done, hare. Well done. And then, they're both attacking each other now. Bit of combat there. And that hare's aggressive. Yeah. Really aggressive. Let's zoom in. Look at that. I really do like the way it looks. It does look very, very pretty. And it does look like a board game. You can imagine these tiles, these being physical tiles. I mean, obviously not with, you know, bits of smelly bog on the top. But you can imagine these little things. Darkness falls across the land, and the king is taking a bit more damage, and then another Bane is spawning. They always spawn at them locations there. Alright, okay. Thane's turn. So because my hand size is 3, I guess that... Was that what happened last time? No, my hand size... I did have 2 cards, so I should have definitely got that card previously. Anyway, I've got a card to pick from, so item, spell, or trickery. I'm going to pick item, which is a Warhorn. It's equipable, and I get +1 fight for each follower recruited. I have no followers, so that's going to be problematic. I'm going to, I think, run in here. This is our, well, that's a town. It's unclaimed at the moment. You can see that is claimed by me, so I'm going to get extra gold. I'm going to go in there and claim it for myself, but I'm going to encounter the peril. -1 gold per settlement owned for the vile official. Now, I'm going to burn none of these cards because they don't have any of the symbols that I want. You can see if I burnt that one, I would gain a fight symbol again. I really despise the burn down counter. I don't see a point in it. Right, let's just roll these die, and dice, right, yeah, whatever. So I've got 1 symbol, I've got the sun symbol, and then I haven't got the others. There we go. And it looks like I'm going to lose a gold, but it doesn't really matter. I've managed to take that over. Right, I'm just going to wander into the forest. There we are, and then I've got a little bit more action points by the look of it. I'm going to stroll into this circle and I'll gain a health because that's what the circle does. You can also meet different people as well. And then I'm going to head into the forest here again. That'll hide me about there, and then we'll end the turn. So this is sort of how the game plays. This is really how the game plays, and you will continue on going until you do one of the sort of victory conditions, which it could be kill the king or whatever, you know, basically what I explained earlier. So that's random. What's she rolling? Yeah, it's some gold. Now, like as I mentioned right at the start of the game, it is a digital board game, so it's built along board game principles, and it does feel exactly like a board game, and I think that's quite good. I do like this sort of thing, and I like the fact that it's been focused as we're trying to make this sort of game, but it's only going to be digital, so it's not just going to be a garbage port, and it does play very well, and it looks beautiful. Just the art and everything is lovely, really, really nice, very, very, I don't know, it's very, very polished. It looks very nice. Production values high. Oh, what's this piece of bane? Oops, the king sorcerer's opened a portal to the underworld. 3 banes appear at night. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Anyway, it's going to be the king's guard's turn. They're just going to move along. But yeah, it does play very well, even at this stage. Now, it's my turn. I'm going to, I think, I need to get over there, but I want to have a look here. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go here first. And we'll have a quick random look, and we have found nothing. That's great. So what I'm going to do is attack the bear. Attack the bear, because I'm very good at attacking. So there's my dice there, based on fight. There, she hasn't got very. Oh, the bear hasn't got very much fight. I'm going to burn me Warhorn to automatically gain an attack, and I think we'll call that there. Then we'll roll our dice. There we go. And like all board games, you are at the mercy of the dice. So, for example, I was playing a multiplayer game the other day, and I attacked someone with 8 dice, right? They only had 2. I died with a 2 overkill. I took a total of 6 health. 6 damage, because they just kept rolling the result that means you get to roll again, and it explodes and roll again, so you get success and roll again. It kept doing it, and it kept going and going and going, and it was just shocking. I was just ripping my hair out going, no, it shouldn't happen. And that's just something that you always get. You know, board games tend to do that, and honestly, that could be a good or bad thing. Who's got... I want to play this here. Both players gain +2 prestige. I've got 2 prestige. Now, who's got the lowest? Let's have a quick look. She's got 3. Amber's got 0. The rat Mercurio's got 2. So if I play it to Amber, she'll gain 2. Or I say she because I don't know. Does it look like a female rabbit? I don't know. I'm going to play that to the rabbit, right? Because that'll give them +2 prestige. Ah, but I can't because they're in enemy grounds. Damn it! If I play it to them, then I will. They'll get 2 and I'll get 2, which means I'll be on 5, which will be higher than anybody else's, so I do want that. Do I want to play this card here? 5 magic. I haven't got the magic to play. I really want to play that on another character. Anyway, let's just end the turn there. But yeah, going back to what I was on about the dice, you know, a lot of board games have this where, you know, you can just be stuffed over by the dice. I call it the Blood Bowl syndrome, right? Because I've played Blood Bowl a lot on the channel, and sometimes you'll just be like, this should work, you know, and you do the maths, and you go, well, the chance of this happening are 1 in 36, and you do it, and you get caned, and then you do it again, and you get wrecked again. It's just, this shouldn't happen. This should not happen. Oh, good grief! They've got some really good armor. I am going to not burn anything because I want to keep them cards, so I'm just going to roll and hope the dice help me out. So there's a fight, there's some successes, and there's a nighttime, so it's not going to do anything. So there's my 3 attack. They've got 5 defense, so I'm going to basically, the attack cancels out defense dice, any remaining goes on their health. I didn't get any successes, so I've taken 2 damage. That's how it works. So they've beaten me back up to the mountains. So if they want to attack again, they're going to be at a disadvantage. I'll get an extra defense dice, but they are quite well armed. But yeah, that's how it works. When you roll your attack and defense, you'll end up adding up how many attack and defense you have. If you have more attack than every attack you have cancels out one of their defense dice. Any remaining just goes onto their health. It's pretty simple, and vice versa. They'll do it the other way to you as well. Yeah, right. So the darkness descends again, and all of the Banes are attacking. So it's attacking Mercurio, the rat. Yeah, doesn't look like nothing's happening. What's happening here? It's down here. And you see Banes are spawning because I believe that was his decree. So I'm going to pick a card, and I'm going to item recharge 2 magic. Ah, that's pretty good, because if I get that, I get 5 magic. I'm then going to put on Allies Pact, which is both players gain +2 prestige. Do it on the rabbit. So he gets 2 prestige, I get 2 prestige. And then, how many health's the rabbit on? 4 health. I'm going to play this, which is 5. The lightning strike. I'm going to play that on the rabbit, and he will. Looks like he's lost that and lost 3 health. And then 1, 2, 3. Do I want to attack him? I can. I've got 4 AP, but I want to go here first just to capture that town. Then I want to go back there, and then I want to attack the rabbit because they attacked me. So they've got. It's at night now, so I get a bonus die. And they've got their nice armor there. I've got nothing to burn down, so I'm just going to roll. And then we'll see what we get. So there's a defense. There's a sun, so that's cancelled. So basically, out of all of them dice, I don't know what is the correct saying. Out of all of them, 6 dice, I got bugger all. Right? So yeah, that's me dead. Oh no, -1 health. So I'm on 1 health left. Yeah, so I'm getting wrecked is what the term is, I believe. It's not going well, is it? It's not going well. I'm just getting screwed up by it. You know what? We're both on 1 health. I'm just going to charge in. If I die, then you'll see exactly how it works. So let's just... That armor is really helping them out. So I need a lot of... I need a lot of them symbols. There we go. They're exploding, which means we get to reroll them again. There we go. Look at that attack. 6, 7, 8... Come on, I need some defense. Right, so I've killed the rabbit. Bam, 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 bam. Look at that overkill. Obviously nice and animated there. And they've killed me. So I got like 8 odd attack, but no defense. Again, you are totally at the whim of the dice. And obviously burning cards is how you would normally alter that. So instead of just being completely random, you would obviously be able to burn down cards to guarantee certain results. But generally the cards, you want to play them rather than burn them. Sometimes. Obviously armor and equipment and weapons and such will affect all of that. So... that's generally how you will affect that. So obviously he's got armor, so he's getting +3 defense and such. So that's generally something you want, which I have not got. Anyway, what happens when you die is that you will lose prestige, and then you'll be sent back to your corner, which is here. Anyway, so the rabbit is there. They've only got 1 prestige, and now I reckon I'll be on... Oh, that's the wrong button. Return to game. I reckon I'll be on, not the most prestige, I think we're on equals. So 3, 2, 1, 2. Oh no, I am on the highest. I am the highest prestige. Excellent. This is good. But obviously these Banes are getting chopped down, and Mercurio looks like has not won. If he dies, I really hope he dies. Yep, he's died, so he'll lose prestige. Yes, good. Right. Anyway, going back to... Actually, no, I won't. I won't go back to what I was going to talk about, because I want to... explain this first. So, we need to... I'm the prestige leader, so I need to... pick one of these cards. So, you can't have that. The king claims 1 spirit stone from every hero that has 1, or each hero stripped of 1 random equipment item. If you have no equipment, lose 2 prestige. So I wanted to play that one until I thought, ooh, I lose 2 prestige. Damn it, because I haven't got the prestige. In terms of tokens, spirit stones, you need 4, and then you can cleanse the king, or 4 or more. I'm going to go for the Royal Acquisition then, so we'll get some Spirit Stones. So you can see we get a little stamp on it. It's the little things. It's the little things like that, like little stamp on it to say, yes, this has been... The Royal Seal's on it now. I like that. So anyway, I'm still trying to progress on my quest over there, but one thing that I was getting is I was trying to charge too far in that direction. I was always going to... I was always doing the quests instead of just searching random areas. I'm just going to select my cards here, which is all going to be item cards. So we've got a couple of items. We've got an adventurous kit, which is in peril, gain +1 bonus die. So we'll put that on. Oh, hang on. There we go. And we've also got a shining steel sword, which it does actually shine. Look at that. Oh, I do love the art in this. Right. Battles in battles, gain +1 sword. There we go. So we automatically gain +1 sword. They're not very good cards then, but they are free. Anyway. I'm going to charge this way, and we're going to go into that. So we're going to roll, see what we can find. Nothing, and then nothing. So far, I found bugger all. Anyway, let's attack this this Bane. So, it has 4 dice. I get an extra attack because of my card, and then I'm just going to roll. At night time, I wouldn't want to attack this guy. Actually, I would, because I've got an extra bonus there. I've got the shield breaker, so cards burned in battle cannot be used for defenses. So I've got 4 attack. That's what I've got. It's got 2 attack and then 1 defense. So I've caused 3 damage to it. So very simple there. 3 damage, and then I lose 2, and then it will be pushed back, and I'll go there. And that is me, basically, but I'm going to gain 2 health. There we go. Excellent. I've got loads of gold anyway, so I might as well end the turn. Excellent. Anyway, I was going to talk about about board games in general. The thing is, when I saw that this was being designed as a digital board game, I thought that could be good. That could work out. But it's also, it's not as, it's quite difficult, because one of the great things that board games have, and will always have over a digital product, in my opinion, is that you are there with your friends in a setting where you're all together. It's a communal setting, so you can get away with a lot more, right? If something goes wrong, you can laugh it off. In a single player game like this, and even multiplayer where you don't even know your opponents, it doesn't work as well. You can, you'll generally, I get generally more annoyed and go, damn it, it's because it's like the computer, it's out for you. No, but what I mean is that you can laugh it off when you're obviously in a more social setting, whereas when it's just single player, generally you can't do. Or maybe it depends on the type of person, I guess. Look at that, 7 dice attack, 1 defense. So I'm going to wreck this. Maybe he's got 2 defense, 3 defense, 4 defense. I'm still going to kill it. So bam, 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 overkill, and then he does 2 to me. There we go. Not too bad. So I'm going to kill that. So I lose a health. He loses 3. Chop, chop, chop. And then I gain a prestige because I've killed it. Oh, and it's trying to crawl towards me. It's like a corrupted raven. There we go, gain a prestige. But yeah, you can get away with a bit more when you're in that sort of social setting. Whereas in this, I don't know. I don't know if it works as well. Now, designing it along board game lines though is actually a good idea, because there's many games that do it. In fact, I think XCOM, the latest XCOM game, was designed completely as a board game first. Like, there was, before it even reached the stage where it even was programmed, it was actually designed first. Remember game design, when that actually happened, instead of just making a game based around microtransaction and other garbage. Yeah, so I like the idea of it straight away, because I thought, well, they're gonna have to think about it first. It'll have been designed before they got anywhere near the computer, so that was always good. I'm going to put this armor on, which is actually, I'll get -1 fight but +2 shields. Well, I do want some shields. We've also got this great axe, get +1 fight, and that one cause. Plate a hero. That's a throwing axe. I've had that. Yeah. To be fair, actually, I like the way there's a throwing axe and it's embedded in a tree. I'm pretty sure that's around that forest there, or somewhere like that, isn't it? That first encounter with that quest. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. Anyway, play on adjacent hero, cause it -2 health instantly. Right. Well, I could do that, but instead, what I'm going to do is head this way and head to that Druid circle to gain health. Oh, I'm counting a group of druids. So you approach the stone circle and the druids direct your attention towards 3 symbols carved into the rock. Their leader seems to be waiting for your choice. So point to a side, point to the wild tree, point to the spirit stone. If you point to the spirit stone, you get a spirit stone. Point to the wild tree, you will lose 99 rot. That's what the point that pops up at anyway. And so you basically get cleansed of rot. Or you can point to the side, which is what I'm going to do, because you gain... Oh, the druids mumble to each other in ancient language you do not understand. The leader reaches between the folds of her cloak and produces a glowing artifact and hands it to you. Ooh, look at that. Moon Scythe. Moon dice rolls explode at night. So I'm going to put that on because I do a lot of my work at night. That's +1 battle. I'm going to get rid of my adventurous kit. We're all about the combat with this character, so there we go. And then I'm going to head further into the forest towards that way, I think. There we go. And we'll end the turn. Yeah, I like the fact that it's, designed along board game principles and such, and it was good to know that, some thought has had to have gone into it, instead of just, playing around and seeing what happens. So, you can imagine this being taken out of this. You can imagine if there was just a magic button that said, take out of computer and place in box, then this would work. That's what I'm sort of getting at, that, it could work in either setting. Still concerned that, there might be a couple of things like that burn down time. I don't like it at all. A little bit concerned that, certain things like you are at the mercy of the dice a lot of the time. I don't know how, I haven't played enough to really get a feel of how random the game can be and how in control you are. One of the things when you play a lot of board game ports is that you can really tell how automated a game can be. Talisman. I played Talisman on the computer and I really After a while playing that game, I realised that there was almost no decision making whatsoever involved in the game. It was just random. And it's sort of hidden when you're there in, you know, with your friends and stuff. But when you're playing against computer, you realise that all you're doing is press to roll dice. I've rolled the dice, I automatically move here, I pick up a card, I look at the card. I have a choice to play it or discard it. There's my turn. You understand that there's very little involved, and this game is nowhere near like that, nowhere near as bad as that, but I don't know yet how much decision making is actually in it. Anyway, speaking of decision making, I've got some here. I've decided to use my favourite. The king gives the hero with the lowest prestige a treasure. Something happened to the Banes across the land. All Banes gain extra rot, +2 fight and +2 body. I'm going to do that to increase how hard the Banes are. But yeah, I'm hopeful for the game. The thing is, it's perfectly playable now. It's very fun. Multiplayer's alright, but sadly, once one player leaves, the game just closes and there's no chat. So it would be better, I guess, if someone leaves, that automatically get taken over by a computer or whatever. But it's fun. It looks great. It's polished, even at this stage. It's just, it works. And I would probably recommend it if you're looking for a digital board game. Not that there's many on offer. That's the thing. It's sort of a niche thing, and even more niche than the fact that it's a good digital board game, which is very few of them. In battle, -1 fight with +2 swords. I think I've got that anywhere. No, I haven't. So I'm going to place that. There we go. I've got a lot of gold to do this. Right, Mercurio, you're going down, rat! Let's see what happens. So, attack. I'm going to get some extra defense, extra attack. There you go. So I've lost 2 dice automatically, but, you know, it doesn't really matter that much. I'm going to burn that card to get an extra attack and just roll that dice. There we go. So he's got 3 attack, and I've got... Oh, he's not got 3 attack. I've got 4 attack, he's got 3 defend, he's got 3 and 3. So I've hit him for 3 damage, oh sorry, 2 damage, and then he attacks me for a little bit, for 1. So, 3 damage, and he's been slain, I think. Yeah, he's been slain, there he goes. And then I will gain myself prestige. Lovely. So I've got a little bit more action points. Now I do want to go to that Druid circle to get a heal. There we go. Then I'm going to move there. And then next turn I will attack the Bane. But there won't... Can I just fling that axe there? No, I can't. There won't be a next turn because I think I'm going to leave it there. It will take a lot longer to go and get the victory condition. I guess it's about halfway. The game's about halfway there now. The game's... depends how fast people go and the computer goes and how fast your turns are. But I reckon on average the game will be about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, something like that. Probably a little bit more, a little bit less. Around 45 minutes area, I would... I reckon. I've probably played and finished about 5 or 6 games now. Something like that. 4 or 5. 4 or 5, I would reckon. But yeah, I think it's alright. I think it's pretty good, actually. Again, I still haven't got a feel of just how... I still haven't got a full feel of it yet, but from what I've seen, I think it's alright. I think it's pretty good. Just a little bit concerned that like I said, I don't know how much control I actually have. I don't know how much of that is sort of hidden, especially when it comes to like victory. Like if you get a couple of just crappy dice, that could be your game over. You know, you're just gonna die, or you don't get the equipment you need, and you're just gonna be lagging behind and such. But yeah, I think the whole questing thing, I like the questing system. I just obviously hopefully that's getting more fleshed out. But yeah, I like it. I've played nearly. Probably over 5 hours now, so it must be alright, mustn't it? I guess. Links in the description so you can check it out yourself. Thanks very much for watching. Comments in the comments. And generic partings.